so many great fighters came out of Philadelphia.
Dude, there's a kid
Rocky.
now. Ennis.
Boots Ennis.
Damn.
God damn, he's good. He's so good.
I remember training with him when he was like a teenager, and he was just playing around with us, and he would just move around. I mean, we were grown adult MMA fighters, couldn't even touch this kid, and now look at he's
so
murdering
slick.
people.
You need to feel it. You need to take that in your hand.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow factor. Oh my goodness.
Gosh. Can I hold it for a second? What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Man. And let it go to the real deserving person.
This is Nicholson. This is Nicholson.
What's up, man?
What's up?
What do you want to do today?
You got my man right there. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's going on?
What we doing today?
Like we doing you.
Alright.
Shadow box 3-4 rounds. Hit the bag. And reflex back. Speed back, reflex back.
Alright, so total 10 or 12.
Don't you still doing 4 minutes a round?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Look who came out here.
We're preparing for, probably his biggest fight to date. It's been a long journey, throughout the years. I've been training Xander since he's about 11 years old, 11 or 12. He's coming on 22, and it's, the journey's been long, but we're culminating now with what his dream was, and that was to become, a champion.
The boxing world might owe Xander Zayas an apology, or Jaron "Boots" Ennis might be seconds away from delivering the kind of reality check that echoes through the sport for years. And trust me, nobody seems to know which one it's going to be. Because while everyone is busy,
Ennis believes a fight between his son Jaron and Xander Zayas would be good, but he can't predict the outcome. He respects Zayas as a strong opponent. Regarding the possibility of Jaron becoming undisputed champion, Bozy is realistic about the complexities of boxing and doesn't want to set a specific time frame.
You know what I mean? But like I said, I can't really tell once you get in there. See, I can't really say, oh no, he's gonna be tough, but I knew Jonas was tough.
Yeah. Do you have like a certain timeline? Like, all right, if he can't get one more champion in the ring by the end of the year, we're just gonna move up.
Well, we undisputed now.
is he calling Boots Ennis the future, the present, the nightmare, the boogeyman, the cheat code, the final boss of boxing? There's a growing whisper getting louder by the day. What if everyone is looking at this fight completely wrong? What if the biggest story isn't that Boots is too good? What if the real story is that Xander Zayas has quietly walked into this moment while nobody was paying attention?
Believes his experience will eventually take over.
Man, that's a tough fight, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, that he have in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country, and he's gonna do real well in that fight. I just think, right now, is a little bit.
And that's where things start getting weird, because every time someone praises Ennis, they somehow end up accidentally making the case for Zayas. Think about it. Every analyst keeps reminding us that Boots was embarrassing grown men when he was still a teenager. Every highlight package looks like a video game trailer.
Boots. I got Boots. Yeah, I got Boots. I think he's too skillful. IQ level, how quick he is. I think he's levels above.
Building on that point, Terence Crawford also acknowledged that Zayas' youth and ambition could make him dangerous in the early rounds. He thinks Ennis will need to stay sharp and avoid giving Zayas any opening to build momentum. If Ennis handles the pressure well, Crawford...
Every training clip looks like boxing physics breaking in real time. Speed, timing, reflexes, creativity. The man moves like somebody pressed fast forward on reality, and yet, every time someone says Ennis is unbeatable, another voice jumps in and says,
I like Xander. Xander's a good fighter. I like Xander. I just think that Xander don't know enough. Yeah. To take a fight like Boots. I mean, granted, you get in this game, you're in this game to be the best. But I don't think he's ready for a fight like Boots. I mean, Xander's good, he can fight, but he's still a kid, he's still a baby, still in learning stages right now.
Unified champion, though, right?
He is.
Big kid. Seemed like he's getting better each and every fight.
And I agree, but Boots in careers, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, are they going to pay him enough? You know what I'm saying? Are they going to pay him enough? Because I'm sure after they fight, he's not going to fight for a while.
Hold on, that voice might be Tim Bradley. It might be Terence Crawford. It might be a trainer. It might be fans online, but somebody always says it. What if Zayas is being underestimated? Suddenly the conversation changes. Suddenly people stop talking about what Ennis has done and start talking about what Zayas could do.
If that fight happens.
Knockout. Nasty knockout. Nasty knockout.
By who?
I think Boots knocks Xander out within 5.
So not a systematic breakdown? You talking about one shot deal?
No. I mean, Boots put combinations together, but that's going to be easy. And again, if Boots beat him, will he get credit?
Shit, he's a unified champion in the division.
That don't mean nothing. Boots got so many haters.
You won't believe how quickly that rabbit hole gets deep. Because Xander Zayas isn't showing up looking for permission. He isn't showing up hoping for respect. He's showing up with championships, confidence, and a team that genuinely believes this is their moment.
And this fight, I'm just gonna show when I'm at the highest level. Again, I'm gonna make those adjustments when necessary, and I'm gonna stick to the game plan and have fun.
Do you feel that this is a fight that goes the distance, or do you think that that's something you can get rid of?
I never go in there thinking about knocking the person out. Obviously, if it's there, I'm gonna take the opportunity. If not, I'm ready to go.
Reports suggest his camp has been treating this fight like the biggest mission of their lives. Coaches talking about years of preparation, childhood dreams turning into reality, long-term plans finally reaching the destination.
I got Boots. I'm gonna go round 7.
Man, that's.
I'm gonna. 7 is my favorite number.
Okay.
I don't think it goes beyond 10, and I definitely don't. I'm not gonna disrespect and say, oh yeah, he's out of there for. You know what I'm saying? Zayas is big frame, young. I believe he's younger than Boots. You know what I mean? He's gonna be in like Little Puerto Rico. It's gonna be Little Puerto Rico in that bitch.
And then, boom, fake breaking news. The boxing internet has officially split into 2 different planets. Planet 1 believes Boots Ennis is about to steamroll another opponent. Planet 2 thinks everyone is walking directly into the biggest surprise of the year.
So we got you there. That jab, use that jab, and boxing move. You know, I mean, he was doing it though, but he wasn't doing it like he normally do. You seen some of his fights, and you know what I'm talking about. He got so, I think, hung up on knocking, guys out, and then he found out you can't punch. He don't care about you touching. You know what I mean? But
nobody can agree on anything anymore. 1 minute, Ennis is being picked by knockout. The next minute, people are pointing at Zayas' timing, ring IQ, and composure and asking uncomfortable questions. And this is where it gets worse for anyone trying to predict this fight. Because the more experts study the matchup, the messier it gets. Bozy Ennis praises Boots, analysts praise Boots, former fighters praise Boots. Then somebody casually mentions a potential weakness.
You understand that? Bigger than he is. Probably just as strong as he is. High boxing IQ, just as well as he does. Got skills, good counterpuncher, good legs, good movement. Throws and bunches, got a left hook, which is the punch that Boots. Ain't no foregone conclusion Boots gonna knock out Xander. Shit, I can see it both ways. I know Xander ain't got no pop like that, but man, this is a hell of a matchup. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. This is a hell of a matchup right here, and this is gonna answer a lot of questions.
Not a huge weakness, not some giant flaw, just a tiny crack in the armor. A little tendency to abandon fundamentals when chasing spectacular finishes. A little temptation to hunt for knockouts instead of sticking to the basics. And suddenly fans are acting like they discovered classified information.
It's a little different. We don't know what Xander would have done in the Olympics or the World Championships because he never got to that point. He turned pro a little bit early. And it's not a knock on him, but they're just at different stages in their careers, different fights, just different people. It's just totally different. And Boots is not 35. You know what I'm saying? He's not 30. He's a 28-year-old dude, man, that's fresh. That's Roy Jones he wasn't past his prime when he fought Tarver, but it was just different circumstances. Coming down in weight, a little bit older. Tarver could fight his butt off. Tarver's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So, and Xander hasn't proven to be a Hall of Famer yet.
Social media lights up. Comment sections explode. Debate turns into chaos. Because if there's one thing boxing fans love, it's finding a reason why a favorite might be vulnerable. And then another twist arrives. Tim Bradley practically throws gasoline onto the conversation by pointing out things many people aren't discussing enough. Zayas has size. Zayas has timing.
He might have Boots' number. I don't know. You asked me for a prediction. I'm picking Boots by stoppage.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. And then call me the next day, and you just tell me that I'm wrong. But right now, I just don't see how Xander can beat him, bro. I don't. Again, unless there's something freaky happen, disqualification or something weird like that, yes. But just skill for skill, talent for talent, punch for punch, I think that Boots is going. I just see a big difference in the two of them.
In the press conference, you got to see, both teams there, and obviously you hear that, they wanted to proceed on doing.
Zayas can counter. Zayas can think. Zayas isn't walking into this fight confused. He's walking in with a plan. Suddenly the narrative shifts again, not because Ennis got worse overnight, not because Zayas became Superman, but because people start realizing that elite boxing doesn't always follow the script. And speaking
every night for sure. I just feel like, me growing up, I didn't really watch Xander too much. I seen him at Nationals, and I probably caught fights, him fighting, but he never really caught my eye where it was wow, Xander about to fight type of thing. But watching him in the pros, I feel like he grew a lot. I feel like he's a good fighter. He could box real nice. But for Boots though, I looked up to Boots since I was a kid watching him. I feel like nobody handled Boots. I feel like he always had everybody numbered. He could go both ways. He just boxed. I feel like his IQ just on a different level.
Of scripts, can we talk about how suspiciously confident both sides seem? Ennis supporters sound like they're already planning the victory party. Zayas supporters sound like they've already seen the ending nobody else knows about. It feels like two completely different movies happening at the same time.
I just feel like, me growing up, I didn't really watch Xander too much. I seen him at Nationals, and I probably caught fights, him fighting, but he never really caught my eye where it was wow, Xander about to fight type of thing. But watching him in the pros, I feel like he grew a lot. I feel like he's a good fighter. He could box real nice. But for Boots though, I looked up to Boots since I was a kid watching him. I feel like nobody handled Boots. I feel like he always had everybody numbered. He could go both ways. He just boxed. I feel like his IQ just on a different.
Movie says Ennis delivers a highlight reel knockout and reminds the world why he's considered special. The other movie says Zayas survives the storm, changes the rhythm, and creates the kind of upset conversation that dominates boxing headlines for months. And somehow both movies sound believable. Fake breaking news. The tension meter has officially broken because now even the predictions are starting to fight each other.
If you hit him and it don't do no harm to him and he just get emotional and try to come at you like a bull and he can feel that he can break you, oh, it's over. It's over. He gonna start applying that pressure. He gonna have a tight guard. He gonna start feinting you. fighting you, and he gonna work off of those fights in numbers. He's not just gonna be, oh, one hard. Nah, Shorty can rumble. I like him. I do. I really do, but I'm going with Boots. 60-40 split.
An analyst predicts a stoppage. Another predicts a chess match. Another says youth will create problems. Another says experience will solve them. Nobody agrees. Everybody argues. The only thing people seem certain about is that something important is about to be revealed. Not a secret, not a conspiracy. Just the truth about where these fighters actually stand. Because that's the real story hiding underneath all the hype.
And they got a puncher's chance and a fighter's chance. And he's not no stupid fighter. But I feel like he still got that young mindset. When he get touched, he's definitely like, all right, come on. And he get antsy. He get rageful. Like, don't get stupid. Boots, he'll get touched. Like, all right. He pride himself off for taking a good shot. Like, all right, ain't nothing. It's cool. But he gonna stick to the script. You know what I mean? And if he feel like he can do something and embarrass you, then he'll try it. And if he get away with it, he's like, oh yeah, I got this motherfucker. Then he start building on this company.
This fight isn't just about winning. It's about identification. Who is Boots Ennis when somebody refuses to cooperate with the script? Who is Xander Zayas when the lights become brighter than they've ever been? Those questions are making fans nervous, and honestly, they should. Because boxing history is filled with moments where certainty walked into the arena and confusion walked out. That's why Zayas keeps repeating the same message. He isn't chasing a knockout. He isn't promising miracles. He isn't trying to sound like a movie character. He's talking about strategy, adaptation, discipline, 12 rounds if necessary, calm confidence instead of chaos, which is fascinating because everybody else seems to be providing enough chaos for him.
I'm pretty close with Xander. Like whenever he goes to some of his main events, I'll fly out and I'll just cheer him on and stuff like that. I'm a Xander fan, and I think Xander's gonna win. I think people are underestimating Xander so much. It's insane to me. Like people are all like, "Oh, like Xander's not ready for Boots. This isn't, oh, Boots is gonna wash him out. Boots is gonna do this. Boots is gonna do that." Xander's a world champ, a multiple belt world champ, and he's showcased who he is time and time again. I think people are just like washing him out or like overlooking him because he's so young, but I'm giving it to Xander. I think Xander's his boxing ability, his ring IQ, his presence, his just stature. I think it's gonna be tough for anybody to beat.
Meanwhile, Boots Ennis continues carrying the weight of expectations that would crush most fighters. Every compliment becomes pressure. Every prediction becomes pressure. Every highlight becomes pressure. People aren't just expecting him to win. They're expecting him to dominate. And that can be dangerous. Not because dominance is impossible, because expectations have a funny way of turning good performances into controversial conversations. If Ennis wins comfortably, people will say they expected it. If he struggles, people will ask questions. If Zayas shines, the entire narrative changes instantly. There is almost no version of this fight that doesn't create headlines.
Hey, y'all don't know Xander. Like, you know what I mean? Like Xander's like that. He's gonna fight his butt off. And if I don't know Boots either, so I'm sorry if Boots, you're a cool dude or whatever, but Xander's my guy, and so I'm gonna rock with my guy through and through, and not just because he's my guy, but because he's a great fighter and a world champ. I'm rocking with him, you know?
What does Xander have to do to win that fight against Boots?
I think Xander has to one feint. I want to see him feint and just get Boots off his rhythm, and then after he does that, I would like to see Xander just continuing his.
And that's why the final twist is staring everyone right in the face. Maybe the boxing world has spent weeks arguing about the wrong thing. Maybe this isn't really a story about whether Ennis is the favorite. Maybe it isn't even a story about whether Zayas is ready. Maybe it's a story about perception. Because before the opening bell, one fighter is carrying expectations and the other is carrying opportunity. One fighter has everything to protect, the other has everything to gain. And sometimes that changes everything. So now the countdown continues. The predictions get louder. The debates get crazier. The confidence grows. The doubt grows. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise sits a possibility nobody can fully explain. What if Boots Ennis is exactly as great as everyone says he is, and Xander Zayas is still good enough to shock the entire conversation? Because if that happens, the biggest reveal won't be who wins the fight. The biggest reveal will be how wrong everyone was about what this fight was really about in the first place. So tell me this, when the first bell rings, are we about to witness the coronation of a superstar or the beginning of a completely different story nobody saw coming?